All right, we should be live. It is a rather windy Tuesday, March 7th. The time is around 11 a.m. or just before that, and it's about -1 or -2 degrees Celsius. And I see Gertej, Michelle Gray, Susie in the chat. A name I cannot read. Out on the tiles, Ali BHG, Harjat, Sheena Roberts. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. I'm using all new audio gear on this one. Cypher Gaming, Embedded SRAM, SRAM, MGM, Uncle Buck, Zach McNally. Sorry if I missed calling out some of your names. Kind of struggling to see my screen here. But I am at Christie Pitts Park. My plan was to go to Dundas West Station and then head south through Roncy and then walk across Parkdale and then go into Liberty Village. But I was running a bit late, so I just decided to hop off at Christie Station. You can hear me loud and clear. Awesome. Sorry about that, Novell Koss, but there I am. It is super windy. I've got my brand new wireless mic system. I'm also using a new gimbal. So there's a lot of new gear on this one. This will be the last live stream out in Toronto for quite a while. Hello, Gaby, Johnny Toronto. And as you can see, we've got nice clear skies. But that is having a bit of a negative side effect, making the screen awfully hard for me to read. Oh well, I'll deal with it. I've got the brightness of the iPhone cranked up. So yeah, this will be the last live stream like this out and about in Toronto for about a week. I apologize for that. Chatty Cathy, this is at Bloor and Christie Pitts Park. So I'm just gonna probably make my way into downtown. Maybe we'll kind of head southwest, or rather southeast. Is it the DJI wireless mic? It is. I'm giving the Rode Wireless 2 Go's a rest. This is the first time I've ever used this particular mic system. I'm just gonna make sure I have everything in my backpack here. Just one sec, I'm gonna put the phone down. Not gonna be able to see the chat. It's a bit colder than I thought it would be. Which I guess is good because I had half a thought to do an e-bike live stream today instead. I'll get my eyes back on the chat in a second, guys. So we're gonna head through Koreatown at first here. Jeanette is in the house. Hello, Jeanette. Yeah, there might still be some tweaking with the mic. Hopefully it's not peaking or anything like that. Action Kids uses the same one. He switched to it and he says it kind of tones down some of the background noises a bit over the other mics. So that's something I'll look into tweaking if necessary. There's the salon I go to. I go to their Young and Eglinton location. And for $35 for a men's cut, they will definitely get my business again. So this is east on the north side of Bloor Street. But I'll probably turn south at some point. Hello from Puerto Rico. Awesome. Glad you enjoy the streams. So the reason for no video today is I'm going away. And I've been kind of busy just trying to get videos up and ready, so there'll be a video every day that I'm away. I don't really want to rely on myself to record and edit and upload from a resort. And I was one video short of covering the entire time off. So I decided just to skip today and do a live stream instead. 82 Windows says 35 is a good price for a haircut these days. At a good salon, yes. Hello, Rena says the snow is almost melted. And it is almost Sakura season in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, this is east on the north side of Bloor Street in Chinatown. My original plan, like I said, was to go to Dundas West and walk down Roncesvalles Avenue. But I'll get to that plan later. I actually just recorded something. I think I'm going to edit and throw up as a YouTube short. I think I'll do that after the stream. Heriberto Ortiz, $5 super chat. Thank you very much for the super chat. Much appreciated. Thanks for the $5. Yeah, Puerto Rico. Awesome. Debits and Credits is coming to Toronto in June. Oh, it feels so nice to be using a gimbal that works properly again. This is borderline luxury. Iris says, good afternoon from France. Krista says their daughter paid $80 for a haircut. Shouldn't they charge by like length of hair and type of styling rather than men's cut, women's cut? Not that I'm complaining, I'm on the cheaper end of that stick. What if you're a dude with really long hair and you wanted something pretty elaborate? Would it still be $35? Oh, it looks like Palmerston is closed off. that is why. Water main replacement from Bloor Street west to College Street. They charged so much and then they wanted a big tip. David Clippert, $1 super chat. Thank you, David Clippert. Thank you very much, David. My last haircut was $35, but I tipped 10. I usually tip 5 or 10, depending on whatever I happen to have in my wallet. Same goes if you're delivering me a pizza. You'll get one of those too. Upstate New York Bob, $5. Enjoy your walk and the sunshine. Watch out for the fire hydrants. I don't think I've ever walked into a fire hydrant. I have certainly walked into things before. This place is new, Industry Snack Bar. Thanks for your support, Upstate NY Bob. Someone sent me an email about a pretty amazing coincidence about someone they saw walking down the street or walking in one of my live or pre-recorded videos before. This was a person who reached out to me and invited me to an event who was also a YouTuber. But the coincidence is they happen to be the son of the person who was watching. And that person lives in Germany. It was a pretty cool story. Out in the tile says I'm a good tipper. Well, I'm not a good tipper if I'm ordering takeout because I do not tip. In the old days, if they had like a jar on the counter, I would throw a loonie or toonie in there because sure, why not? If I'm picking up a Subway sandwich and it prompts me to put in a tip, I will roll my eyes and quickly hit no. So yeah, I tip well for things that should be tipped, but if it shouldn't be tipped, I will scoff. So this is Bathurst. Christopher Haydock, £2. Thank you, Christopher Haydock. Much appreciated. Thank you, Christopher. So like I said, I don't think I'm going to stick to Bloor the whole way. What's a good street to go down? Maybe St. George, Queen's Park. Yeah, it is a nice sunny day. For some reason, I am walking super fast. Harry says, is it live? I don't know. Lisa says, great options around here for streets.
Like basically the back.
I'm going to be curious to see if this mic is picking up this wind because it is blowing pretty good. Major to Sussex, Sussex to Huron. Croft Street is pretty neat as well. Because they're on the south side of Bloor. Yeah, Clem, I think that's it. I think I saw our CEO, Vivian Johnson, was in the chat. Ash Brannigan, fully agree with you. I would only tip on takeout if they went above and beyond, like, you know, maybe I went there 2 minutes before closing and they had everything all cleaned up and it was my only option, so I ordered anyways. And I felt bad maybe, or if they made something off menu for me, or if they actually had a tip jar and I had a loonie in my pocket. But other than that, I am not tipping takeout. Because at that point, why not just tip everyone for everything, right? Walk down the street, see a landscape guy cutting the neighbor's lawn, give him a tip. Why not? We're just tipping everyone, right? It's out of control. Did I miss Major Street, Lisa? Oh well, we're taking Brunswick Avenue. Because why not? So it's going to be a little residential for a few blocks. Lisa said 1 block east. Brunswick wins. Lisa's waving, aren't you in Yorkville right now? So yesterday, I was delayed by like over an hour heading downtown, but some of you may have seen I was on Henry's stream, Toronto Tech and Transit. I was actually on 2 of his streams yesterday. And in between those streams, we recorded a video together, so that'll be on this channel. But I don't think that is scheduled to go up until next week. We just kind of had a walk and talk, and then we went to an awesome coffee shop in Kensington called Moonbeam. He's a super nice and friendly guy. So here is Sussex. Should I turn left on Sussex? I believe that was the requested street here. Or should I just go down to Harburg Street? That is the back of Central Tech over there. All right, let's walk across Sussex. It's funny because a week ago, I was like, oh shit, I'm going away. I need to make a bunch of videos. I planned out Roncesvalles Avenue, and then I had a Parkdale to Liberty Village walk all planned out, and then I was gonna record a streetcar ride along the 509. I'm like, okay, in 2-3 hours, I'm gonna get 3 videos out of this. And I didn't do any of them. And then today I was like, okay, I'll just live stream that route. And I found myself just getting off at Christie Station, so it is not in the cards. Sorry, Roncesvalles and Parkdale. I'll get to you at some point. But this is Harbour Village, sometimes incorrectly called the Annex, but the Annex is actually north of Bloor. Between Bloor and just north of DuPont, and Avenue Road to the east, Bathurst to the west. Stop the 413. We want greenbelt, not asphalt. Well, my reasoning for stopping the 403 would be a little more simpler than that. There is absolutely no demand for it. It is an unnecessary highway being built. Jeanette Morales, $10 for a tasty lunch. Thank you, Jeanette, as we head east on Major Street. We're kind of on a collision course with the University of Toronto going this way. Sorry, Sussex. Yeah. It's early for me. What are some good places to eat downtown? Oh my. One could talk for hours about that. I tried to go to the Economy House on a live stream a week ago, I think, during a blizzard, or a snowstorm, but they were closed. It was a Monday. That was when Ken tracked me down. Marge, $10 for an IPA to go with that lunch from Jeanette. You guys are having me sitting at a bar at what, like 1 p.m., eating a burger, having an IPA? Thank you, Marge. Thank you, Jeanette. You've made Spadina. Whoop, there I am by mistake. And again, the new microphone thing. Huh. Thanks to the support, guys. And congrats to the Ken Continuum. He hit 11K subscribers. So we have made it to Spadina. Let's see, where am I on sub count? I'm at 87,933. So probably tomorrow we'll hit 88,000 as a Spadina streetcar emerges from Spadina Station. There are the streetcar tunnels. what is this place? Jolly King, a taste of Africa. Is this the DJI Pocket 2? No, this is an iPhone. Donovan Gould, Taco Tuesday Johnny, 70 ZAR. I am not familiar with that currency, but Donovan, thank you so much. It's funny you say that because I went to Chipotle last night, and for some reason, instead of ordering a rice bowl, at the last second I said 3 tacos, and I was like, what the hell are you doing? Everyone knows when you order the tacos at Chipotle, you get way less food. But also everyone knows they give you way too much to begin with, so it's not really a problem. So I had 3 hard shell tacos, and they were quite good. Thank you, Donovan. Taylor Gray says, this is the street that Scott Pilgrim is on. Well, the 7-Eleven he was at, not 7-Eleven, Pizza he was at is not too far from here. This is the Public Message Center. A night of classical music and poetry. St. Mike's annual book sale, September 28th. I think we missed it by about, what, 5 months? 6 months? All right, so this is Huron Street. So this is where I was directed to go south. So I am firmly in UFT territory now. On the left is the new addition to one of the ugliest buildings in the city. We'll take a look at that in a second. Over there. Myeonggrong hot dog, Mommy's noodle bar, Korean tofu pocket yubu. Young SC is loving, $5. Enjoy your day, Johnny. Thank you. Young SC is loving. I will enjoy my day. I have decided this is my last day of working for a while. I was up till like 2:30 last night, putting the final touches on the videos I recorded yesterday. So this is Robarts Library. It's okay. I think that guy saw my camera and didn't want to walk in front of it. And these are cherry blossom trees. So in a few months from now, this area will be quite popular with people taking a walk through here. I think they're expecting a bit of an early bloom this year in Japan. Jeanette, happy to see a library? Well, what if I told you it was the ugliest library in the history of humankind? Would you be so happy? I mean, I absolutely love it. That doesn't mean it's not stupidly ugly. It's kind of the height of brutalism when they took an era about big gray concrete slabs and they tried to do something kind of artistic with it. And we are at Robarts Street on the right and Hoskin Avenue over there at the University of Toronto St. George campus. Bash Brannigan says Johnny hates Apple and brutalism. I wouldn't hate brutalism so much if they didn't knock down so many old gems to put up a lot of the brutalist structures that we have. Toronto was a city that really embraced brutalism. There's like the Hilton Hotel, the Sheridan Center, this thing. I don't know. Jenny from the block says downtown. Yes, we are south of Bloor and east of Bathurst. A good tip for that is you can go into Google Maps and just type in downtown Toronto and it'll draw a box around the outskirts of it. Google doesn't always get the neighborhood boundaries right, at least not compared to the official city ones. But the consensus as to what downtown is, I think Google has it bang on. Jeanette says a library is a library to her. Fair points. And Marge, I hope you feel better. Oh, that food truck smells good. Foods from East. Food from East. I don't think that's grammatically correct. This one is Keys Fine Foods. Would I visit Mississauga for a live stream? I've done that a few times actually. I think I've live streamed through Mississauga in the car about 3 or 4 times. And on a bike a few times as well. And walking, I've done Port Credit twice. And last year I live streamed from downtown Brampton even. I hopped on the GO train and I continued the stream all the way to Union. And then I ran into Ken, who was live streaming. This is Wilcox Street. There's the red light here, but that's really for vehicles. Pedestrians can walk through here.
But I always tell you, it's always going.
Bash Brannigan says with the CN Tower, you can always see where you are. True. But it is getting more and more covered up these days with new developments. But it's easy to tell that I am walking south because it's straight ahead, or at least Toronto south. It's not a true south. That's what we in the city call south. I think in reality it's more of a southeast. Christopher says, must get back to Port Credit. Yeah, I'll be back for sure. Probably in the spring. I imagine I'll take the e-bike or scooter out there. And probably a GO train and hop off and walk as well. All right, Yogi, take care. And the stroller says this view of the CN Tower is amazing. I dig it. Bash Brannigan says, any weather predictions for where I'm going? Nice, I hope. I heard it might rain a few days while I'm there. What about Hamilton? Honestly, that's not really on the radar, but I'd love to go record there. So this is College Street coming up. The dude says, where am I going? I don't know. I walked through Baldwin Village yesterday with Henry. We walked into Kensington Market. So I don't really feel like covering that stretch today. Maybe I'll do like McCall or Beverly and we'll go south. This says I seem to be getting sick on trips. Well, I'll use this one as a test. All right, Jeanette, take care. Apparently there might be some more snow in the way. I saw this big snowstorm we had was not the end of it. And we've reached College, so where should I go? I don't really feel like going over to Chinatown. I was just there. Beverly or McCall? What is the better or preferred route to take south? What do you guys have to say? Let's see, choose your own adventure. NASA Transit Kid says, when was the last time I had Swiss Chalet? I ordered it like a week ago, actually. And I didn't order it for pickup, I ordered it for delivery. I was like, yeah, I feel like paying way too much for this. Lisa says Beverly. Oh, this is Beverly Street here. Well, at least we get to keep the CN Tower in the shot. Christo says McCall. Kevin says McCall because Lisa said Beverly. I can cut through Grange if I take McCall or Beverly. You know what? We're going to split the difference. We're going to take a little bit of Beverly and then we'll head over to McCall. How's that? And I can still cut through Grange Park. Pine Sol loves Swiss Chalet. I mean, their fries are good, their chicken is good, but their dipping sauce is out of this world. All right, so it seems as if Grange Park is on the menu. People couldn't agree on Beverly or McCall, but they're certainly agreeing on Grange Park. All right, so let's go left at Cecil. I've heard it called Cecil though. I'm going to stick with Cecil right here at the corner where the Polish Combatants Association is. Apparently there's not too many of those left in the world. I was once recording a video in the area and I decided to research what the heck the story is behind that place. Now I've forgotten almost everything that I learned and read about. I'm gonna cut this way on however you pronounce this street. And then we'll make a right onto Henry and then another left at the next street, and that'll take us over to McCall. Sparrow says chalet sauce is why you can't stay keto. So back when I started this channel, someone once sent me a picture looking south at the CN Tower, and they were like, what street is this? And I was like, I don't know. But I went on Google Street View and I walked around and I found it was Henry. And I emailed them back like, oh, that's Henry Street, just south of College. And they're like, wow, you know everything. I was like, well, no. Didn't have the heart to tell them that I just looked it up the old-fashioned way. And it looks like this is going to take me into Baldwin Village. That guy's 9 baht max. Wasn't sounding too healthy. You have a photographic memory? Espero says Street View is so handy. My favorite feature on Street View is just rolling back the clock and seeing what places used to look like. So we are in Baldwin Village. A place that was once full of American Vietnam draft dodgers. Let's see, Nintendo Cafe. I don't know if they're trying to invoke the name Nintendo, but it did with me. And we've made it to McCall, where there's a Krispy Kreme donut shop just around the corner here. I think I'll get a better view of the tower from the other side of the street. Also, stay out of the hair of these paramedics. Ash Brannigan asks, did any of my snowstorm videos get good viewing numbers? The last one did really well. I think it's hovering around 30K right now. And the live stream is around 70K. Snowstorms are really hit or miss. Sometimes they blow up. But still, even the worst ones are usually still above average. The live streams tend to do good. But I'll give you a little tip if you're a YouTuber in Toronto making this kind of videos. If you want to get the big one, you got to get that first one of the season, usually sometime in November. You just got to have your camera on you and be on call. You could be on a date with your dream girl, someone who wouldn't give you the time of day in high school. And all of a sudden she said, I'll go out with you this one day. And you'll be at the restaurant and you see that first snowfall come and you say, look, I gotta go. Sorry, but not sorry. That's how important it is to get that first one. I wonder if this fire truck is going to the same place where the ambulance is. We're all first responders. It looks like it. Yeah, that's where it's going. It's probably a medical emergency because we have paramedics and a fire truck rolled in, but there's no cops. And we are at Dundas and McCall. So what I'll do is I'll head west here over to Beverly, and then we'll head down and cut through Grange Park. We'll take a look at the Art Gallery of Ontario, designed by Toronto native Frank Gehry. Off in that direction is Yonge and Dundas Square. Just gonna wait for some people to pass by. Christo says the village idiot. You mean the village genius? Basic burger. Yeah, it wasn't a very pretty building when they first built it. Surprisingly soft and spongy. Don't know what else I was expecting. I was expecting like a metal ball. Oh, I walked right by this ugly dude. Miss Lewis says the Art Gallery and OCAD are some neat looking buildings. I agree. And on this side, apparently in real life, Van Gogh was Crazy Town. I guess if you're going to cut off your own ear. That kind of makes sense. I think I'm loose. I guess the correct word is eccentric. The dental office of Dr. David Locke. I have booked my first dental appointment. There's some news you didn't care to hear about. I have not been since prior to the pandemic, back when I had health insurance. It's funny because the moment things started opening back up, my old dentist started calling me like crazy. I guess they're trying to get all their long overdue patients back. And I just ignored their calls. That's okay, I'm going to some dental hospital, they call it, in Bangkok. Figure I'm there anyways. And that's going to be some downtime on my trip. Let's go get my teeth done. So I'm booked for a cleaning, a checkup, any x-rays. I'll get any work done while I'm there as well. I had a whole bunch of fillings that I had put in my early 20s. I've had no problems with them since. I think the life expectancy of fillings is like 15 to 20 years to forever. They might need to be worked on at some point. I have no idea what shape they're in, so I'm going to find out. And now we're heading south on Beverly Street again. And I'm going to hop into Grange Park just up here on the left. Good day, Christian. Is it pronounced Van Gogh or Van Gogh? I've only ever heard Van Gogh. Alright, this is the part where I might regret not wearing my boots. We'll see what Grange Park is like. At all costs, there's no better way to spend a vacation than going to the dentist. Hey, it's going to be a good 70-80% cheaper than you can get out of pocket here. I know you can get it free if you do it through the university and have some student work on your mouth. And a lot of places will cut you a pretty good break if you tell them you don't have insurance. But whatever, I'll do the medical tourist thing. There's the back of the art gallery. And OCAD straight ahead. That just as he cut off his ear and gave it to a hooker. I didn't know that part. Well, they do say it's the world's oldest profession. All right, I got an idea for a cheesy Insta-shot, possibly new thumbnail. I'm gonna put my camera on this table here. If I go wide, can we get OCAD in it? Subscriber count 87,934. Thank you. Don't mind me, folks. I'm just snapping a few pics. I think it'll be better if I put the camera over on the edge of the table. Please do keep yourselves entertained while I play around with my camera. You know what someone needs to invent? They need to invent Kleenex that goes into your pockets in the winter and doesn't dissolve into this completely useless, crumbly pile of disgusting moist paper. That's what someone needs to invent. Winter-ready tissue paper. Okay, this is harder than I thought it would be. All right, that's enough tomfoolery. I am feeling a bit thirsty. We're gonna get up and moving again in a second. But Johnny Strides uses a folded bandana. Well, back in the day, they would just use a handkerchief, which I think we think is kind of gross. But they probably think what we do is kind of gross. Like you scrounge around your pocket and you pull out whatever you can that doesn't look disgusting. They're like, dude, we invented like a piece of cloth for that 200 years ago. Just use that. Like this is what I just pulled. This has not been used, by the way. This is fresh. But I put like a bunch of this in all of my pockets. And by the time I come home in the winter, I just have a few random scraps of disgusting crumpled up tissues. And don't act like it doesn't happen to you either. All right, let's get this bubbly open. Bubbly mukbang for those that have been requesting mukbang. It's a funny word to say. There's OCAD. All right, let's brave this tundra here. So if I stuck to my original plan, I would probably be rolling into Liberty Village around now. I imagine I would have finished walking through Parkdale. Christo says it should be a Guinness in a paper bag. It is too early for me to do that. It's like if you ever do go to Southeast Asia, there's this weird phenomenon you'll see. You'll get up at like 10 in the morning and you'll go get some breakfast and you'll walk by a bar and there'll just be a bunch of old, like Western looking dudes sitting there looking as depressed as anyone you've ever seen, and they're all drinking. I don't want to knock them, but it's always struck me as an odd sight. Like, are you just going to keep this up throughout the entire day? Do you go to bed at 5 p.m.? I just want to know what their story is. Well, maybe in 20 years, I'll join the ranks and get to find out. So this is John Street straight ahead. Albert says they're from Southeast Asia. Neat. So this is Stephanie Street. Thank you, Patrick. I'm going to need to get some new designs to update the merch. That's something I need to look into. I've been saying that for a while. I think Ken could use a refresh in that department as well. And your daughter is here now, right near UFT St. George, says Albert. We just walked through St. George, or I just walked through St. George. We're actually on St. George Street. Footwear merch? I don't know about that. But at least the merch I do have is like decent quality. It's not the highest quality stuff, but the samples I got were good enough quality. I was pleased, and the people that got it said they were fairly happy with it. And the t-shirt I have has been washed like a few dozen times, and it's held up. Often if you get like a cheap t-shirt, it'll turn to like cardboard after a few washes and go all out of shape. Bash says, do you get anyone saying they don't like your collabs? I get both. Anytime I do something different, I get people saying, oh, I like that, do more of it. And I get the people saying, I didn't like that. And both are valid. If it's not something I'm constantly doing, then if you don't like it, you're not going to have to see a whole lot of it, right? So it's fine. Like I get people telling me that they only watch my bike and scooter rides. And then I have people saying they prefer the walking videos. Both are completely valid. If you like one but not the other, then watch the one you like and ignore the other one. If you don't like any of it, don't watch any of it. But I think overall people prefer the walking regular videos and the walking live streams, so there is more of those than the others. And really, I don't collab that often. I haven't done one since I think fall with Ken last year. With Ken and, well, both Kens, Action Kid and Continuum. '82 window says walking rules. Doyle rules. Vivian says, I need a Toronto skyline with a plane flying over it and me hanging on the wing. That could be some neat art. I bet Patrick could pull that off. And this is Peter Street. Let's go south on Peter Street. Because why not? I'm going to be waiting for 2 light cycles here. There's a look east along Queen Street West. Won't be too long before this stretch is ripped up and turned into an open construction site. And I really hope they do a better job with it than they did on Eglinton in terms of keeping the businesses accessible and making as little disruption at street level as possible. Honk. Whoa, that guy is really pushing his luck in that Chevy Malibu. He had a red light for about 10 seconds before he decided to go. Bro, can you get out of Toronto more often? Well, I'm getting out of Toronto in a few days. I don't know about exploring the nether regions of Ontario. It's more of a urban city exploring channel. I could do more places like Bruges Park. And I need to go back to Tommy Thompson Park. At all costs. Ali loves it when people honk. All right, it's time to find a garbage can. Everyone really enjoyed my Niagara Falls videos. Way to check to make sure no one's on the sidewalk before you pop that door open. Yeah, I'll definitely be heading back to Niagara Falls. So I've been walking for an hour and 13 here, give or take a few minutes, where I stopped at Grange Park. And I've just hit 10,000 steps. Kevin says, don't worry, I'm sure the construction won't take long. The good news is much of the Ontario line is like above ground. They've kind of smartly aligned it along an existing rail corridor. Oh, it says 3 pretentious guys blocking the sidewalk. Yeah, that's a pet peeve when people walk 2 or 3 abreast on a narrow sidewalk. Imagine if I did a video on pet peeves or bad habits of people in the city. That would definitely be on the list. Here's one that would be on the list: those people that run to get on the subway, and then as soon as they get into the door, they stop as if, oh, I made it, I'm on, not realizing there could very well be people trying to get on behind them. And they just decide to stop right in the middle of the doors, 2 feet in. No, keep going. That would be on the list. Clayton Crawford is here. Yeah, I've done the Humber River Trail a few times. That's more of a cycling kind of video. I've done the Finch Hydro Corridor, the Gatineau Trail. I've tried to do the major ravines. There's still a lot I haven't gotten to. Fern says your pet peeve, bikers on the sidewalk. Yeah, that's a given. If you're in like parts of Etobicoke, like in Long Branch, they actually have signs that say no biking on the sidewalk, and it like quotes the bylaw. So if you're over 14, you are not supposed to be doing it. Escalator blockers, people standing two abreast on the escalator. That's the equivalent of driving slowly in the left lane on the highway. This is a very long light cycle here at King. Not Peter, it's about to become Blue Jays Way. Once I get south of King. The girl in front of me was taking a shot. Checked out the Eglinton West Trail. I've done that one on my single speed. I haven't done it on camera. Here, we're walking through the construction zone. Bisha Hotel. I've heard good things about this place. It's definitely on the higher end, spendier side. All right, Christopher, thanks for dropping by. Thanks for the super chat. And we're at Wellington Street. You know what? I don't want to say never, but I rarely walk along Wellington Street. So this is east on Wellington, in the entertainment district, heading towards the financial district. Kevin says rant videos are therapeutic, so feel free to rant. The topic of things some people like but others don't. There's one I've had feedback on. I've definitely got messages saying just shut the hell up and talk about the city. And then there's people that are like, I kind of like that. I like it when you go off on something. Can't please everyone. So I just let it kind of happen organically. Brad Palmer in the house. Hello, Brad. Thanks for tuning in. There used to be a burrito joint in here, Casada, but that is long gone. And we've made it to John Street. Oh my, speaking of ranting, if you get a chance, watch Not Just Bike's latest video. I am sure he has triggered a lot of people. And I think I saw it on Nebula, but I think it's came out on YouTube. I think I saw it in my feed. And this car right here is a good example of something we don't have enough of. It's all about how trucks are basically killing machines because their grills are so high. And they're actually considerably less practical than like minivans and station wagons, and how everyone is owning SUVs and pickup trucks with these really high grills that are killing kids left and right. And we don't have enough vehicles like this with like a kind of low swooped hood that won't just bowl you over and the driver has good visibility, and there's actually way more storage in that kind of vehicle. I don't think we have that issue nearly to the extent that they do in the States, where almost everything is a truck. It's a really interesting watch. And he trashes the Suburban. Like, the thing is, with a vehicle like this, I think there was a study where you could put 17 kids in front of the vehicle that the driver cannot see. Also, if you look at the height of the bumper and the front grille, if that hits you, you are going underneath. Whereas on a car, if you get hit by the hood, you're going up on the hood. You are going to get hurt, but you're probably going to survive. Whereas you're dead meat if you get hit by one of these things, where the driver has shitty visibility to begin with. They also have a lot less cargo and storage space in the back. And also, if you get into an accident with one of these and you're in a car, chances are the SUV will be on the better end of it. They're not designed to be particularly safer vehicles. That's okay, our police drive them, so that makes them safe. And he goes into the reasons as to why those kinds of vehicles became so prominent. Spoiler alert, they're more profitable. I remember growing up, we had a station wagon. A lot of my friends, they had minivans. Two very practical kinds of vehicles that are just not cool. And in a nutshell, that's why people don't buy them anymore. Here's another one. See, in the States, I almost guarantee you this kind of contractor would have like a big pickup truck or something to that effect. We're a little more sensible here, not much. We also have stupidly big fire trucks. That's a whole other argument to be made. Whose channel is Johnny talking about? Not Just Bikes. Kevin says Suburban, that thing is so big. Yeah, and like a Subaru Impreza will happily carry your luggage better to the airport than that Suburban. Or, you know, a Dodge Caravan. There's that Timmy's. Anyways, go watch that video. I think it's definitely good food for thought. And we have reached University Avenue. Heritage says, where am I heading to? I'm heading to a subway station, I think, at this point. The battery is getting low. And we've hit the hour-and-a-half mark. I know, Henry Street for like 5 hours in a snowstorm the other day. And Ken likes to go 2-3 hours. I think 90 minutes is a good mark. So maybe I'll just head over to Union Station. Val says 90 minutes makes for a good entry-level stream. I don't know why. I have never really stopped to notice this thing before, but I think that's kind of neat. Throw back to the old rail days. I think maybe I'll head into Union Station and get some lunch. think they've taken down the skating rink in front of here. Well, we are well into March at this point. That makes sense. So this is Front Street West. Royal York Hotel on the left. Union on the right. I might pop in there and grab a meal. Yeah, this is where the skating rink was, just here on the right. And occasionally they have like a food market here and that sort of thing. But what I think the city needs to do is come up with a better solution than these barriers. After that van attack in North York, they installed these barriers, which are a good idea, but I think these were supposed to just be kind of a stopgap measure, just to protect this pedestrian space. But they ended up just sticking around, and they're quite ugly. You'd think they could put in something a little bit more pleasant looking. And there's a look up at the tower. And on that note, folks, I'm going to thank you for tuning in. Just a reminder, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go live or not from the Caribbean. So this might be the last stream for a week. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks to our mods for their good work. Thanks to our channel members, Patreon supporters, and everyone else for just watching. Don't forget to like or dislike and subscribe or unsubscribe. Just do something. And I will see you guys in a week. But there will be videos every day at 9 a.m. EST. Oh, by the way, probably there'll be a few premieres I will not be able to attend. So if you're in the chat in the mornings at 9 a.m., I apologize if I am not there, but I probably won't be able to attend them all. You know, airports and flying and hangovers and that sort of thing. But you're in good hands. Henry will be out streaming. I'm sure Ken will, and Lizzo and everyone else. So thank you for watching, guys. Have an awesome week, and I will be back in Toronto in a week going live. Yeah, Vivian, I'm gonna try to go live on the trip at some point. I tend to get bored to tears at resorts, but I'll definitely make a resort video, maybe an airport video. There might be a beach walk in there. There'll be some content, but I don't know what the Wi-Fi or data situation is going to be like. So if I can stream, I'll do a stream or two. And if I can't, I'll see you live in a week, or a week in a few days. Anyways, thank you so much, guys. Stay warm, stay safe, and I will catch you on the next one. Yoink.